In 1917, the Western Front was defined by the arrival of mechanized warfare. Amidst this chaos, Louis Cartier began sketching a watch designed for the specific, hands-free utility required by officers in the field. He drew inspiration directly from the overhead silhouette of a Renault FT tank. He translated the vehicle's massive parallel tracks into a rectangular case, creating a form dictated by function rather than ornament. In 1918, Cartier presented the first prototype to General John Pershing. Before it reached the world of fashion, the design was tested as a soldier's tool. The tank was not conceived in a jeweler's vacuum. It was forged by the specific, heavy-duty geometry of the First World War. The tank's engineering relies on a fixed ratio. The parallel brancards maintain a precise width, integrating the strap without lugs. The dial features Roman numerals weighted to the frame and blued steel sword hands. Finally, a sapphire cabochon crown sits at 3 o'clock. Cartier has treated these anatomical features as geometric constants for over a century. This persistence isn't an act of nostalgia, it is an assertion of the design's structural integrity. In 1973, Cartier introduced the Tank Must. This model utilized gold-plated cases and quartz movements to bring the tank's proportions to a broader audience for the first time. This shift toward accessible luxury was validated by Andy Warhol, who chose the Tank Must as his daily watch. Warhol famously claimed he never even bothered to wind it. He wore the piece solely because its shape represented the highest possible standard of taste. Swapping mechanical gold for quartz movements allowed the tank to survive the economic shifts of the 70s, repositioning the design for the counterculture. By 1989, Cartier tested the flexibility of their own rules with the Tank Américain. They elongated the case and arched the brancards to follow the natural curve of the human wrist. In 1996, they introduced the Tank Française, which featured a squared, integrated metal bracelet that mirrored the exact lines of the case. Figures like Princess Diana adopted the Française for its ability to bridge the gap between formal sophistication and active daily wear. These variants proved that the foundational 1917 logic could be stretched or integrated into a bracelet without losing its identity. The 2004 Tank Solo arrived as a clean steel entry point, serving as the default standard for the 21st century buyer. However, the 2024 Tank de Cartier relaunch signaled a return to serious mechanical depth, replacing quartz batteries with in-house movements. This mechanical pivot shows Cartier evolving the watch as a piece of high-level engineering rather than a historical artifact. Today, the Tank remains a relevant platform because its original blueprint was robust enough to support modern mechanical upgrades. The watch thrives in total contrast. It is as much a part of Jackie Kennedy's wardrobe as it is a fixture on the wrist of Muhammad Ali. It transitioned from the atelier of Yves Saint Laurent to the modern public life of Michelle Obama without friction. Modern actors like Rami Malek continue to wear the design organically today, illustrating that the watch requires no paid marketing to remain a cultural staple. The design survives these massive shifts in culture and fashion because it never attempts to adapt its own internal logic to the outside world. This chart shows the financial reality of the Tank lineup. The price starts at $1,800 and scales well over $25,000. That massive gap is filled by 6 distinct collections, from the Must to the Louis Cartier, adding complexity to your purchase. The flow chart breaks down the options into 4 specific paths to help map out your decision: budget, style, mechanics, and heritage. If your priority is low upfront cost and zero maintenance, follow the budget path directly to the steel and quartz models, the Must and the Solo. If you want architectural presence and prefer to wear the watch as a distinct piece of jewelry, the style path leads to the structural designs of the Française and Américain. If horological respect and modern internal machinery matter most to you, follow the mechanics path to the 2024 de Cartier. And if historical accuracy and precious metals are non-negotiable, the heritage path leaves you with one option: the original Louis Cartier. Ultimately, the right tank is the one that fits your financial limit and matches why you wanted the watch in the first place. The Cartier Tank is more than a watch. It is a mathematical expression of those fixed ratios established in 1917. It proves that when the proportions are correct, the design never needs an update, only a new wrist.